1492, Columbus discovers smoking. 1497, Robert Paine, who accompanied Christopher Columbus on his second voyage in 1493, writes the first report of native tobacco use to appear in Europe. 1518, Mexico, Juan de Grijalva lands in Yucatan, observes cigarette smoking by natives. 1519, Mexico, Cortez conquers Aztec capital, finds Mexican natives smoking perfumed reed cigarettes. 1530, Mexico, Bernardino de Sahagin, missionary in Mexico, distinguishes between sweet commercial tobacco, Nicotiana tabacum, and coarse Nicotiana rustica. 8ts. 1531, Santo Domingo, European cultivation of tobacco begins. 1534, Cuba, Santo Domingo, tall tobaccos, wheat, broadleaf Nicotiana tabacum transplanted from Central American mainland to Cuba and Santo Domingo. 1548, Brazil, Portuguese cultivate tobacco for commercial export. 1554, Antwerp, Kruidboek presents first illustration of tobacco. 1535, Canada, Jacques Cartier encounters natives on the island of Montreal who use tobacco. 1556, France, tobacco is introduced. Thieva transplants Nicotiana tabacum from Brazil, describes tobacco as a creature comfort. 1558, Portugal, tobacco is introduced. 1559, Spain, tobacco is introduced. 1560, Portugal, France, Jean-Nicolas de Villemain, France's ambassador to Portugal, writes of tobacco's medicinal properties, describing it as a panacea. Nicotte sends rustica plants to French court. 1564 or 1565, England, tobacco is introduced by Sir John Hawkins and or his crew. For the next 20 years in England, tobacco was used chiefly by sailors, including those employed by Sir Francis Drake. 1566, France, Nicotte sends snuff to Catherine de' Medici, Queen of France, to treat her migraine headaches. She later decrees tobacco be termed herba regina. 1568, France, André Thievot provides first description of tobacco use. In Brazil, he wrote, "The people smoke it and it cleans the superfluous humors of the brain." Thievot smoked it himself. 1570, claimed first botanical book on tobacco written by Penna and Lobel of London. 1571, Spain, medicine, Monards, a doctor in Seville, reports on the latest craze among Spanish doctors the wonders of the tobacco plant, which herbalists are growing all over Spain. Monards lists 36 maladies tobacco cures. 1573, England, Sir Francis Drake returns from Americas with Nicotiana tabacum. 1575, Mexico, legislation. Roman Catholic Church passes a law against smoking in any place of worship in the Spanish colonies. 1577, England, medicine. Frampton translates Monards into English. European doctors look for new cures. Tobacco is recommended for toothache, falling fingernails, worms, halitosis, lockjaw and cancer. 1580, Cuba, European cultivation of tobacco begins. 1585, England, Sir Francis Drake introduces smoking to Sir Walter Raleigh. 1586, Ralph Lane, first governor of Virginia, teaches Sir Walter Raleigh to smoke the long-stemmed clay pipe Lane is credited with inventing. 1586, Germany, De Plantis epitome Eudelima offers one of first cautions to use of tobacco, calling it a violent herb. 1586, England, tobacco arrives in English society. In July 1586, some of the Virginia colonists returned to England and disembarked at Plymouth smoking tobacco from pipes, which caused a sensation. William Camden, 1551 to 1623, a contemporary witness, reports that these men who were thus brought back were the first that I know of that brought into England that Indian plant which they called Tobaco and Nicotia, or tobacco. Tobacco in the Elizabethan age was known as saltweed. 1587, Antwerp, first published work totally on tobacco, De Herbi Panacea, with numerous recipes and claims of cures. 1588, Harriet writes about tobacco in Virginia. 1590, Literature, Spenser's Faerie Queene, earliest poetical allusion to tobacco in English literature. Book 3, Canto Vi, 32, 1595, England, Tobaco, the first book in the English language devoted to the subject of tobacco, is published. 1595, Madoka is born to Chief Powhatan. She is given the nickname Pocahontas Frisky, playful one or mischief. 1596, Literature, Ben Jonson's Every Man in His Humor is acted on the 25th of November, 1596, and printed in 1601. In Act 3, Scene 2, Bobadilla and Cobb argue about tobacco.